How's it going? Welcome to my channel. Sean, aka Pipe and Brewing Nerd, back with another beer review here. This one is from Horseheads Brewing out of Horseheads, New York. And this is their Brickyard Red Ale, coming in at 6.8% alcohol, 32 IBUs. Packaged on February 13th. At the time of recording this, it's about a month and a half old, I would say, at the point of this recording. Horseheads Brewing. I've had at least one of these guys, from these guys, and that was their pumpkin beer. I may have done one other, I can't recall, but anyways, I'll get into them. So these guys are one of the oldest in my area. The only other oldest I could think of is Bullfrog Brewing, and that's to the south of me, and these guys are to the north of me. So Market Street Brewing used to be older than these guys. They recently shut down. So Market Street Brewing, well, these guys have been around for over a decade. I can't think of the exact date. I want to say maybe 2011. Don't quote me on that. I probably have it totally wrong right now. I wish they had an existing thing on here, but they don't. Anyway, when I first got into craft, at least one of these breweries I cut my teeth on. I used to go there all the time. I haven't been there in years. There's just so many other breweries out there nowadays that it's hard to keep up with and go back to the classics. Plus, they're kind of out of the way for me. I should make a trip up. I used to have these guys all the time. Haven't had them in a while. Saw it. Had to pick it up. Do a review of it. Like I said, 6.8% alcohol. 27 IBUs according to the can. But if you go to the Untapped, it says 32 IBUs. I'm going to go with 27 because that's one on a can. So this is an American-style red ale with a slight hop bitterness and a rich malt, deep body, crisp finish. I'm not sure if I said this, but it was canned in February. I got up to this far before, and then I realized that I didn't have my mic on, so there was no audio. Had to reshoot this. At the time of recording, this is about a month and a half old. I've had this at least 3 times that I checked in on Untapped. My last time of checking this in was on March 7th of 2015. So it's been, 8 years? 7, 8 years. I'm probably getting my time mixed up that I've had this one, knowingly that I've had this one again last. So I gave it 5 out of 5 all 3 times. And like I said, that's back when I was really getting into craft and honing my, getting my tongue used to everything. So that may have been a little, it was local, so I hyped it up. I've had 3 friends check this on Untapped for an average of 2.67. It's been checked in over 1,000, almost 2,000 times. I want to say, I may have wrote that down wrong, for an average of 3.46 out of 5. So it's got a decent, review mix on there. Beer Advocate gives it an 83. Oh, there's that. Enough of me yapping on. Let's just get into this. So these guys were bought out at one point in time, not by anything big. The couple that originally opened it decided they wanted to retire. So when I say bought out, I should say they just sold it. They sold it to another local family that took it over. So it's not like it was bought by ABV or ABV, AB InBev or anybody like that. It was just they were done. They wanted to move on. And from what I understand, they got to retain. They got to retain the name. They got to retain all the recipes and everything. So some of the stuff has been changed. It's not exactly the same as it was. Well, I poured a really big head on that one, and it happens. So it's definitely a beautiful red amber looking ale with 3 finger of a head, because I don't know why that poured so heavy, but it did. And it's, Very carbonated. I don't know if you could see the bubbles doing their thing, but it's very, very bubbly and carbonated. Beautiful looking red ale. It really is. Rich, dark red. You know, it's just, you can kind of see, yeah, you can see me, so it is clear, but it's just really beautiful looking. Yeah, rich, rich malts. A little bit of spice coming through, some sweetness, maybe like a little bit of citrus coming through from the hops. Doesn't say anything about what kind of hops they use, what kind of malts they use. Yeah, tiny bit of citrus, floral, earthy, rich, a little bit of spice nose coming through on the malt. Not only that, that head is making a little tough to really get the full flavors out of it, or aromas. So I'm just gonna get a drink of it. Crisp, clean, smooth, full flavor. There's a lot of flavor in this. Deep, biscuity cracker yeast. Malt for days on this. Real thick, coating your mouth. And you still do get those hop oils coming through. So you do get a decent bitter right at the tail end of it. It kind of reminds me, and I'm not saying it is, it has vibes of nugget nectar. Nugget nectar is definitely, you know, it's the higher quality of the two. But this is giving me nugget nectar vibes. That's what I'm getting off of this. Sweet, like limey citrus, floral, a little bit of dankness. That biscuity, crisp malt and yeast coming through. Tiny bit of spice to give you a little bit of warming sensation. This is a fantastic red ale, and I'm not just trying to hype it up because it's local. Like, in my book, I think this definitely, is it a 5? No, like, it's coming down. Yeah, this is easily a 3.75 or a 4 for me all day long. I could pick up a 6-pack of this and drink it down. Really no issue at all. Yeah, it's definitely giving me those nugget nectar, hoppy, amber kind of lager, red ale kind of a vibe. So if you're into like a nugget nectar, if you've had nugget nectar and you enjoyed it, you know, pick these guys up. I can tell you, Western New York definitely can get these guys. I'm not sure how far up they go with distribution. Joe from Beer Patrol or Dan and Mike from FLX Beer Reviews, you know, they could probably tell you or tell me or tell somebody if they get them up there. I'm not sure how far their distro is. I don't imagine it's too crazy, but if you're in the Finger Lakes, you should definitely be able to get these guys. If you ever go to the Finger Lakes, check these guys out. They are like just south of Watkins Glen. 20 minutes, half an hour, I want to say, and maybe even closer than that. But yeah, you can go past these guys. Maybe they're just south. Horseheads is just south of Watkins Glen. So you can make a trip out of it. You hit Watkins Glen, come down. I prefer 414. You could start from Geneva, work away from Warhorse, right down 414. I recommend stopping at Two Goats, and then hit up Horseheads. You get Upstate right there, and you can cut right up 17 or right through 17 up around. Hit up Ithaca. You could have a freaking fantastic day if you can make it to all those kind of breweries. Hell, even a beer weekend. So I'm gonna stop rambling. If you liked what you saw, leave a like. If you've had these guys before, leave a comment. If you want to see more, subscribe. Pretty simple. Thank you for watching. Until next time, cheers.